All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. In today's trade recap, I'm going to be going over all the trades I ended up taking on the day. So coming into the day, I ended up taking 3 trades. Two were losses, one was break even. So yeah, let's just jump right in. So coming into the day here, I wanted to be bullish on NQ due to the fact that we closed above this 4-hour high, making us very high probability that we're going to be bullish. The only thing I didn't like though is that we had this huge bearish SMT. So that made me initially bearish coming into the day, but I set myself a condition, right? So my condition was, in order for me to be bearish, again, I was bearish right away coming into the morning. Once I saw the SMT, I saw this change in state of delivery. I thought, again, the SMT was holding, 930 opened higher. I was like, all right, perfect. I am down to be bearish here. Like, this makes so much sense. 930 opened higher, so I'm going to be bearish coming into the morning. Again, I didn't see anything I liked initially coming into the morning right away. Again, the only thing that I didn't like right away is that we opened higher and immediately formed this bullish breaker. So I didn't like that. I was like, damn, like this might be a false breakout because 930 opened higher without mitigating anything. And higher time frame, we had this huge SMT on ES. So again, this made me feel like this was a false breakout, right? But I wanted to be sure. I told myself, okay, in order for me to be truly bearish, I want to see displacement through this low. This will make me bearish. If price wicks this low, and by 10 a.m., if we start dancing in this level here and not displacing through, I'm going to be bullish. And that was my exact condition coming into the day. So, again, let me... Damn, this is so loud, bro. Put on some chill shit. We got Michael Bublé going crazy on my ear, bro. Bro, let me just... Yeah, we got some chill Italian dinner mix, bro. Cooking up. Alright. So, yeah. We didn't get any follow through. So that made me like a little skeptical about where price wanted to go. Right? So I was okay, perfect. Coming into the morning, I want to see what we do inside of this key level. So inside right here in this moment, price created this bullish SMT with this low, right? So I was okay, like we have this bullish SMT with the lows. Price is failing to actually want to deliver lower. We might want to go higher, right? So I waited for 10 a.m. I was okay, 10 a.m. Again, we initially sweep here. There's nothing here, obviously. We just create a sweep. There's no true displacement. There's really nothing here. So I was okay. I went for 10 a.m. 10 a.m. opens and does what? Nothing. Goes straight down. So I was okay. 10 a.m. open low and tapped into what? It tapped into this 4-hour BISI right over here. So I was okay. 10 a.m. is opening lower, sweeping the low. 4-hour CRT low to 4-hour CRT high. We're mitigating this. And at the time, we had SMT with this low right here. As you can see, 10 a.m. open here. Boom. And we SMT with that in live time. So right around here was the 4-hour. All the way in discount. So again, let me just mark this out for you guys just so you guys can take a look at this. Boom. So initially, right here at 950, we tapped this. So I was like, all right, perfect. We have SMT with the low here. If again, in order for price to correlate, we just need to sweep this low again. So that's exactly what we did. 10 a.m. open lower, created bullish SMT, tap it into a 4-hour for valid gap. This looks so clean to me. I was like, all right, perfect. This is most likely going to deliver higher. Again, we had equal highs on ES. This looked very clean to me. I was like, all right, equal highs, SMT at the lows. This should push price higher. Again, I did see a 30-second here. I wanted to wait for premium to get invalidated. Again, I did see the 2-minute for valid gap here, but I didn't care about the 2-minute. Reason being was because I felt like this was just extremely bullish in my opinion. This 1-minute I feel like was more than enough. Again, we had a bullish breaker, this inverse bullish PD race for valid gap. We're getting big displacement through. I felt like at least we should have mitigated, at least tap this and then continue lower if we were going to do this. Especially with this bullish SMT inside of this key level. And 10 a.m. opening lower, I felt like this was just so A plus to me. But price didn't give me that, and it failed. So that's first trade, lost like 260. I was like, cool, that's fine, it happens. Then price ended up sweeping lower, again, right here one more time. And this time around, I believe we actually ended up sweeping London session low, which is why I ended up taking this long here. So I was like, okay, perfect. Maybe after the sweep of London session low, we'll actually get a run higher. Again, assuming again, and this is all under the assumption what, and again, not under the assumption, under the narrative that 10 a.m. is opening lower and we still have this 4-hour BIST holding, right? So I was like, okay, like this could chop, but I'm like, what time is it? I'm like, it's 9 at the time when I was looking at this. I was like, it's 10:27. It's not 10:30, 10:35 yet. So I don't expect this to really consolidate just yet. So we inversed. I went long, put my stop here. Again, we tapped in here. I ended up adding a little bit more. Once we took this initial high, I put my stop right here because I wanted to see a full follow through. We created this bullish SMT lifetime right here. I was like, all right, perfect. This SMT should hold. There's no reason why we don't go higher. And then we took out the equal highs, break even. I was like, all right, perfect. This is going to make back all my losses, basically. I'm chilling. And break even. So here, at this point, when I saw break even, I was like, all right, okay, like, I'm most likely done for the day. I don't want to inflict my will. And then I was okay. Last opportunity is going to see how 11 a.m. opens. If we get 11 a.m. open, and then we take our internal low, form an inversion inside of a key level, and we can target 10 a.m. again, 11 a.m. reversal to target the 10 a.m. Engineer of liquidity. So I was okay. This is all engineer. Failure swing, failure swing, failure swing. We tap into what? So at this point, I was like, all right, like I was ready to get off. I was like, I'm most likely done for the day. I don't want to inflict my own will. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what is price telling me? Where should we actually bounce on NQ? So again, we have a range, we have equilibrium, which is this hourly. We have range, equilibrium, higher time frame PD rate, and then a sweep of liquidity. And then we initially had this 1 hour bullish SMT as well. So all we're looking for is a high time frame inversion. So when I zoom in, 11 a.m. opens next here. We ended up getting an open high into a 5-minute gap. So I didn't like that at very first, but again, I was like, okay, like I want to see how we react from the 5-minute gap. If we can create a full displacement low, I will not take a short. So I wanted to see the 5-minute actually close through with displacement. We barely closed through. Like this is a close of like 1 point. So this is 1 point close through, and then we immediately revert right back up. So I was like, okay, that's a false breakout. People are going to continue shorting. Again, why does this short not make sense to me is because the daily profile of the day finished. So again, London low, Asia low got taken. Next objective, again, 11 a.m. open higher, just to create, again, open higher to come and resweep here, create this false breakout. I'm going to long here. 3-minute inversion. Again, we have my range, equilibrium, higher time frame PD rate, sweep of liquidity, bullish SMT is still holding, mitigation is in place, higher time frame is in place, 10 a.m. Engineer, 11 a.m. reversal. Everything is in place. Narrative, context, everything is there. There's no reason why this shouldn't go higher. And I know it's a little bit of a risky trade. I ended up losing, and I know it's a little bit risky trade in the sense of maybe since we've been displacing, I should have waited for the 5 just to make sure. I could have waited for the 5 and just targeted maybe a lower RR trade. In my opinion, if this would have inversed, I could have just potentially kept something like this, you know, tab back in 1 to 3 hour. Maybe I could have done something like that. Again, or maybe come back down to the mitigation, maybe something like this, right? But again, I just felt like this just made so much sense. I've seen this trade so many times where 11 a.m. Opens and goes lower, sweeps the low, creates a protect the low, and then 10 a.m. engineers, so we come and take all this out. And it didn't deliver that. It didn't print that way today. And I was surprised because I was like, damn, like, I was surprised. I was like, damn, like everything was there today, in my opinion. I know the first trade was a little bit, I guess, risky, but I don't think it was risky because, again, 10 a.m. is open lower into a key level, 1 minute IFEG with all this low resistance, I believe. Like all this is just, again, we're at all-time highs. Why am I going to be shorting? Again, I understand that ES, we formed this bearish SMT, but if we're bullish, we should get a full follow through. Like if we're bearish, we should get a follow through here and not consolidate. This is pure chop. Like there's no shorting opportunity here. Nothing here looks like for shorts, in my opinion, with my model. We're not delivering any higher time frame gaps in a premium, nothing. So I was bullish coming into the day. First I was bearish, but once we got this displacement up, this made me bullish, but 9:30 opened up higher, so I was a little skeptical, but I wanted to see how we reacted here to really sell it to me if we're actually going to be bearish, and price just failed to do that today. There was no full delivery, no full follow through to make this bearish. There was no 5-minute breaker that actually formed with a full follow through, at least like no close below this low. Again, we didn't close below this low right there. All right, that low, no close, and then finally a close below. But then after the close below, what do we do? Finish the daily profile of the day, and then not that much of a fill close below. So with the narrative, yeah, it's one of those days where it just doesn't work. So I got off. I'm not gonna inflict my will more than I should, and that's it. Again, I followed all of my rules today. I'm really proud of myself with the way I performed. I guess the only thing I have to say is maybe wait for the 2 minute next time. Although I was confident, so I don't really have much to say. But this definitely have something to say right here. Maybe I should have waited for the 5 minutes since these two didn't end up playing. I should have waited for extra confirmation right here. But let alone I was okay with taking that risk due to the fact that I risked 250 to make. Again, I risked this much to make this. It was like a 1 to 3 R, 1 to 3.5. So it's like, again, I'm risking basically 250 to make $700-800, right? So yeah, yeah, it was a great trade. Like basically a very good trade. I was risking like 250, I believe. I think so, or at the time, yeah, like 250, 260, I believe, or 230. I can't remember exactly what number I was risking, but I was risking around something around those lines. So yeah, again, ended up losing only 1% of the day. Not much, but definitely hurts after, you know, getting a payout and feeling good, feeling ready to come back on here, and then losing on Friday, and then no trades on Monday, and then losing again today 2 times. It definitely bothers me in a way, but again, I'm not trading to prove anything to myself. I know I can do this already, so it's more like, oh, it's just a bummer. It's like, ah, damn, like, whatever, fuck this shit. Like, it's just, again, funded accounts are not meant to be taken so serious. They're just a tool to get you to where you want to get to in life, up until you can trade on a live account. Once you can trade your own personal live account, that's where I believe true freedom begins. Once you don't have to listen to these fucking rules so hard and be so like, oh my god, and trade these prop firms, and you're allowed to kind of just have that freedom. Again, don't get me wrong, prop firms are a great, I believe, great space to learn how to trade, because you actually have to walk away. You don't have that much wiggle room. You have to walk away. You have to take A+ setups, and I feel like they actually teach you how to really trade, and you don't lose that much money, to be real, with prop firms, rather than actually putting, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 on a live account, blowing that. Imagine add up all the live accounts all the funded accounts that you guys have had, and imagine times that by $3,000 or $2,000 each account, right? Most of us in here have blown 20+ accounts, 10+ accounts, right? Times 2, that's would have been 20-30 grand out the window, right? So, and then after that, you have to make the 20 grand to put yourself in the green, to put yourself just at break even, right? So definitely, I believe this shows you how to trade. And again, I'm not bummed. I'm not like super upset or having doubts, but I am a little bit like bummed out. Definitely was a little bit bummed out by losing, because, you know, getting your payout and then having a win right after would have been like the best feeling. Like, oh, like we got the payout, and look, we're still following our rules, and look, what do you know, we're still cooking, you know. But again, besides that, I'm just showing you guys true raw emotion of how I'm feeling. Again, keeping it very real as always, like very transparent, because that's the only thing you can do. Again, if you're not transparent and honest with yourself, you won't grow, and you have to be honest with yourself in order to grow. So yeah, with that being said, what else do I have to say? Yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next trading video. Again, I don't know if I'll trade tomorrow for FOMC. I'll look at 2 p.m. to see if there's something good. If there isn't, I won't trade, and I'll just save my capital for Thursday. And if there's something good on Thursday, we'll just capitalize on that opportunity and see what happens. With that being said, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys had an amazing trading day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.